Hey everyone, it's Anna Nutshell coming at you with a story time video. Get ready, buckle up because it's gonna be a bumpy ride. So, it all started back when I was young and dumb. And I was with this girl who was no good for me, just in the blink of an eye. Moved down south. We were supposed to go to Louisiana and live with her grandfather who lived there. We made it down to Mississippi where some of my girlfriend's relatives lived at the time. Now, when we got there, we lived with her grandma for a couple weeks. Then we moved in with her cousins that lived just down the street. Now, it was called the Thousands where they lived because it was all this road that went for miles, and it was all of her family member that lived up in these hills. Now, when we moved in with her cousin, we needed to help contribute in some way. The only place we found that we all three could work was a factory. And no, it wasn't just any factory. It was a chicken factory. When we arrived at said chicken factory, when we arrived at the chicken factory, down in Mississippi, a pretty well-known area, it was gated off and there was a security guard booth. Now, how it worked was you went up and you put your name on a list. And if you made the top 25, that's how many they took for the day. And you were in. So that day that we went, it was raining out. It was a terrible day. But we ended up higher on the list within those 25 people. So we automatically were basically hired. We just had to go through a very, very short interview process with this, literally a one-on-one interview process with this woman. She asked like one or two questions. Boom, diddly done. You was on your way. We made it through. I will never forget the guard at that security booth. Now, I am not judging. You are free to live your best, authentic life self. Honey, be you, be proud, be everything you are and more. But dang, this lady. She had it going on. She had this long, scraggly blonde hair with a wood block as her teeth wired into her mouth with some glasses on. Now, if I didn't tell you I was a little intimidated by her, I would be lying. She was extremely intimidating, and I knew I did not want to F with her. She would F me up. She opened the gates, and she let the 25 of us through. We went and had our interview, and we were done, on our way. We went to this room. It was a lunchroom where all the other workers would come. Now, this was my first experience with working a job, I guess, that inmates could work as well. It was very interesting. You could tell they were inmates because they were in the full jumpsuit, and it wasn't the chicken factory jumpsuit. It was an orange jumpsuit. They had it going on. This one guy, he was all sass. He had tattooed eyebrows on, as skinny as worms. But he was working it. He was working those brows. Honey. So he was coming to eat his lunch. There was other people coming to eat their lunch. We were just sitting there waiting to watch this movie and fill out all the paperwork and all that stuff so we could start working the next day. So we came back the next day. We park. We have our name tags by now. We go in. We sit at this table. This lady comes out. She brings all of this gear that we have to put on. It is a whole jumpsuit. multiple hair nets, a face net, arm nets, boots over your shoes, things over your boots. Like, it was just, there was so much stuff you had to put on. It was so hot under all of that. And then I remember they took us down this really long hallway, and it was curved like this. And there was water all the way down. And I guess it was some kind of solution that cleaned your shoes as you walked all the way down this hallway. Then there's a little door at the end that you went through, and you walked into this huge open room with hundreds of people sardined together, working in front of conveyor belts with chickens on them. So they paired us up with a person on the conveyor belt. We were smushed in side by side, and they gave us a number. Like, our number, I think, was 30. So there was 2 conveyor belts in front of you. One went this way, one went this way, and then there was a chute for your bones. And I will get to that in a minute. You had to watch for your number 30, to come down on the conveyor belt, and there'd be a chicken, a whole chicken, sitting, depulucked, and hot. It was cooked. Would come down on the conveyor belt, and you would pick the chicken up. You would break it all apart as quick as you could. You had to hold on to the drumstick and wing it around and pull that meat off so quick. And the breast, you had to hit a certain part of it and pull it off. Ugh. And you put that meat on the other conveyor belt, and it took it away. And then you had bones. What do you do with the bones? You open the chute, you shove them down the chute, and they go bye-bye on another conveyor belt away. We stayed in there for a couple hours. They took us off the line, all of us, and it was our break time. So I was like, thank God, we got to take all that stuff off. I thought actually we were on lunch, so we up and left the facility. Didn't know how to clock out or anything at this point. We just kind of left the facility, went and got lunch somewhere, came back about an hour later, literally walking back out, and I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I couldn't even, the thought of having to get all that stuff back on, go in that place stunk. It stunk so bad. Like sanitary, that cleanly smell like a doctor's office, but mixed with like raw chicken that's been like electrocuted and cooked. And then that's the smell. And then add like some wetness to it, like some dampness, some humidity, and that's the environment that you are working in. I give so much praise to those people who work there and who can put up with those conditions. Those people are some hard mother effing workers, let me tell you. That is not why I left. I left because the job just was not for me. And I was a sissy. And yeah, I basically left my girlfriend about a week later after she abused me. So that's how it ended. That was literally the worst job I ever had. But I hope you guys got a thrill out of it. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for coming along tonight. I hope you had an amazing day. Continue to keep having an amazing week. Spread love and kindness into the world. Positive energy. Love you. Stay awesome.